Hello everyone. I am Kenshin. Welcome to Speaking History. The historical lie to be revealed today is the lie of Starbucks Pumpkin Latte. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, comment, share, and please turn on the notification bell. Thank you. Starbucks is probably the most well-known physical coffee shop and even beverage brand in the world, right? Every year before Halloween, Starbucks will launch the star product, Halloween Pumpkin Flavor Latte. Before the outbreak of the epidemic, it was a popular product in many cities, especially office workers, each with a cup. Maybe you have also drunk it, not just one cup. But how was the conspiracy behind this high-sugar, latte-disguised sweet drink discovered? The cause was some people who were interested in this wrote to the food safety blogger Vani Hari, asking her if she knew the ingredients of this drink. She, who was interested, wrote to Starbucks, asking them to provide the ingredients. Consumers of course have the right to know what they're eating, right? So how did Starbucks reply? Our Halloween pumpkin flavor latte blends pumpkin with traditional autumn spice flavors, espresso, and hot milk foam, paired with whipped cream and pumpkin pie spices. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us at any time. This kind of self-righteous, high-handed attitude, who wouldn't feel dissatisfied? But the most important question is, why does Starbucks keep silent about these ingredients? There is definitely more than meets the eye in this drink. What is in the pumpkin pie spice? The evasive answer immediately made Vani feel something was wrong, and after several exchanges of letters, Starbucks still refused to disclose the ingredients. We understand that some customers wish to obtain nutritional information for customized drinks. Unfortunately, we are unable to provide this level of detail for each customer's customized drink. The beverage information provided on the Starbucks official website has provided detailed explanations for the most common customization choices on the Starbucks beverage list. This is complete bullshit. This is a company that claims to be transparent, but refuses to disclose the ingredients of the drink. Only a fool would believe there's no problem inside. Since the general channels are not working, Vani persuaded the Starbucks staff near her home to let her see what the ingredients are. The result is far from what Starbucks claimed. Want to know what's inside? Milk, espresso, pumpkin spice flavor sauce, sugar, condensed skim milk, high fructose corn syrup or sweetened condensed skim milk, cochineal red dye, colorant, class 4 caramel color, salt, potassium sorbate, preservative, whipped cream, foaming butter, Starbucks vanilla syrup, sugar, water, natural flavors, potassium sorbate, citric acid and class 4 caramel color, pumpkin spice ingredients, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, sulfites. After reading this list, do you still feel like you're drinking a latte? Kenshin, who doesn't drink coffee, feels like he's drinking a chemical concoction in a burning cup. This can prove how much Starbucks doesn't want consumers to know what's going on inside. With so many harmful additives inside, is it trying to kill people slowly? Especially the class 4 caramel color. There are actually 2 portions of this stuff in this cup. You must want to know what it is, right? This class 4 caramel color is made by heating ammonium compounds and sulfites under high pressure, and the processing process will produce carcinogens, especially harmful substances 4-methylimidazole, 4-ME, compounds. According to a US government-funded experiment, feeding this substance to rats increases the chances of developing lung cancer and leukemia. Even the International Agency for Research on Cancer under WHO lists this substance as a substance that may pose a carcinogenic risk to humans. Consumer reports in the United States shows that many drinks have actually been found to exceed the standard of 4-ME, but only the pumpkin spice latte has not. Perhaps the inspectors didn't expect that coffee would need to be dyed coffee color. Upon discovering this fact, Vani immediately wrote and published an article on foodbabe.com. The article went viral overnight, with over 10 million views in 2014 alone. Not only was it widely reported by the media, but she also appeared on talk shows to discuss the topic. Before long, Starbucks contacted her, stating that they would remove the Class 4 caramel color from the pumpkin spice latte and would also publish the ingredients of the drinks on their website in the future. Of course, this is a victory, forcing the company to bow its head, but this kind of thing is just a drop in the bucket. Do we have to be like detectives for everything we eat and drink? That's not right, is it? Have the consciences of food industry operators been blinded by interests? Since learning about this, Kenshin's trust in Starbucks as a company has dropped to an all-time low. Don't expect to earn a penny from me, because Kenshin believes that such companies will definitely secretly replace certain things for cost reasons in places you don't know, and wait until the truth comes out. If that's the case, why give them a chance? Don't you think? In addition, the pumpkin spice latte is not without caffeine, which is not only addictive. More importantly, there are a lot of concentrated sugars, cream foam, and salt that stimulate the secretion of dopamine in the drink. A large cup of pumpkin spice latte contains saturated fat, reaching 40% of the recommended daily intake, plus 240 milligrams of sodium and 50 grams of sugar, which together will produce a series of reactions in the brain similar to certain addictive drugs. A 2011 study at Duke University showed that salt alone can trigger neuronal responses in the hypothalamus of mice similar to stimulant drugs such as heroin or cocaine, causing a strong dopamine rush to the brain, even before the blood has fully absorbed the salt. In 2015, researchers at the University of Michigan found that foods that are quickly absorbed by the body and contain large amounts of carbohydrates, such as sugar, are closely related to food addiction. The research clearly shows what happens in the brain when you eat a lot of sugar, said Dan Henroyd, a nutritionist at the University of California, San Francisco Medical Center. Especially those high-purity liquid sugars. If you don't have enough dietary fiber to help slow down the absorption, these sugars can easily shock the brain. Food addiction itself is a problem. In the University of Michigan study, researchers used a Yale Food Addiction Scale. This scale has 8 levels, covering various food addiction situations from just hooked to desperately emptying pockets on the street corner. The first level of addiction symptoms is defined as starting to increase the frequency and quantity of eating something. By the 5th level, it is the situation of realizing that something is bad for the body but still can't stop eating. Pumpkin latte lovers will be very familiar with this feeling. Many studies have linked food addiction to the intake of large amounts of sugar, fat, and salt. The combination of the three appears in refined foods at a frequency far higher than those natural foods. Pulitzer Prize winners Michael Moss and David Kessler, who helped the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, in the 1990s, have written that food companies will mimic tobacco companies in researching these foods full of addictive elements 3 in 1. If you like Kenshin's show, subscribing to the show and liking it is the best support. If you can express your opinion, it would be even better. See you in the next episode.